Hi, I want to begin the preview of week 4 by talking about week 5. Week 5 is a literature review, and week 4 you prepare for that. So let's get some concepts down of what a literature review is. A literature review is the heart and soul of your action research project for your doctoral project. And it also has to have a theoretical foundation. So in this preview, I want to talk about what a literature review is and what a theory is. So when you look at week 5, it tells you exactly what the assignment will be. You're going to choose a topic, and you are going to choose a topic that's I'm reading and talking at the same time. Choose an issue that you would think you would want to use for your project. It's a good time to begin with that. So I'll tell you the introduction, the overview of the topic, and then the review of the literature. This is the heart of it. So you have an introduction, and you give a little background, an overview, and then you get to your very specific statement of the topic that's reviewed to your specialization. You're going to write in third person. And then this is the heart of where you go through the research, see what supports it. Let me begin by talking what a literature review is not. It is not an annotated bibliography. An annotated bibliography, which you may be required to do, which I actually did for my dissertation and keep track. It's really note-taking. Here's what Einrich found out, and you just make notes. That's not what you're doing. You are doing a literature review, and a literature review is where you write a narrative where you look at research and you use the research to support your idea. So here's a sample paper I picked up online on cyberbullying. Here's the in-text citation. These guys found this, these guys found this, these guys found this, these guys found this. And when you say, like, these three, Lawrence, Jones, and Smith all agree, that's when you get to synthesis. So the literature review is reviewing the research that relates to your topic. So it should look like this narrative. You're going to use the same template and the headings, but that's what it's going to be, a narrative. Now the next thing is theories. A theory is the underpinning of different views. How do we know this is true? So in week 4, you're asked to begin to look what theories are, and it gives you some great resources to look at here. Also, Webinar 2, we will be talking about the literature review a little bit more in depth. But if you look at reviewing the literature review, PowerPoint, and then these educational guides and theories, these are all great resources for you. So you want to look at those, but you don't want to get overwhelmed by them. For example, the Handbook of Educational Theory is a massive book. But if you go through and click here, you'll see what the topics you can download the whole book too. When you click on that, it shows you what in the topics there, and when you get down in it, you'll get to specific. This is a book, the more you get into it, the more you will understand it. There's also a little reviewing the literature link for you to look at as well. So in week 4, you're preparing for it, and look at all the resources and do that. So one of the things it tells you is select 2 theorists to import in your field, and start using use the Finding Articles About Theorists section of the ED program research guide. Find 2 articles or texts related to each theorist. If possible, find 1 article written by the theorist and 1 article about. So this is a primary source, this is a secondary source. So when you look in the EDD handbook page, let me get up there. And that's right here. This is back in week 4 for this week. You click on that, it brings you up to this page. Now this is where you'll find those 2 great books that download, keep them, use them to browse them, don't be overwhelmed by them. But here is how do you find articles and books written by a famous theorist, and how do you find books and articles about a famous theorist. So this will help you with that. So that's what you're doing in week 4. You're beginning is to learn about theories and theorists and how to put that together in literature review. Look forward to working and helping you with this. And I need to make it clear down here are published works by theorists you can find. And then there's also articles about a theory, primary source, secondary source. We talk about you need to have primary sources. You'll have to have a whole lot of primary source in your project, but secondary source will help us see how to apply that to practice.